So guys, here we are in the dev server again. It's been a little bit quiet in this weekend, of course. During all weekends we have quiet stuff, of course, but yeah, let's talk about one thing that I didn't mention in the videos. I'm not gonna show ray tracing or anything like that, mainly because my PC doesn't handle that yet, but I wanted to show some of the new graphical changes that they did. We're gonna start with the afterburners, boys. It's not just, oh my god, a new afterburner. Guys, this is one of the most realistic afterburners I ever saw in a game, right? Why? You will see. So here we are, we're gonna show some of the vehicles and you will get the idea. So once you actually fire it up, the first thing is obviously the effect itself. If you take a look on real life footage of these particular aircraft that use this FM version of the AL-31, you will see that it's a lot more bluish than the normal Su-27s, which they implemented. Look at the diamonds there, very, very, very cool. Another thing is that now, if I put, for example, 104%, it stays like that. For example, it's a middle like feature between the full afterburner and no afterburner at all. So yeah, no afterburner, so a little bit of afterburner, as you see, and then full afterburner, right? So you have the stages of afterburner basically implemented like that, which is pretty cool. Another feature that not a lot of people are talking about is basically the asymmetric feel when you turn off the engines, turn off the afterburner. So let's see if we can do it. See, like one engine starts, stops the afterburner before, then the other one goes. Sometimes it's basically random, right? Sometimes both of them go together. Look at this. This is beautiful, and I gotta be honest, this is one of the most realistic kind of look of how an afterburner would turn it off. It's really realistic. If you take a look on real life footage and real life aircraft taking off like this, you will see this happening a lot of the times. So it's kind of random, which is pretty fun. See, you can just turn it off, and then it sometimes one like blinks and the other one doesn't and stuff, and it's really beautiful. And the flame itself, like the way that everything is, of course it's just simulated, but you can see when you like do this, for example, I don't know if you can see there, but you can see like a grid of metal there. That is the flame holder, guys, a very important part of an afterburning engine, right? And yeah, it's modeled in 3D now, which is really well made. You can see it very well when you have the afterburner turned on, right? So you can see right there, it's moving, right? And even the flames afterwards. Remember, guys, an afterburner is basically just dumping a lot of fuel inside a very hot turbine, like after turbine like stage, right? So it's really cool, guys. So yeah, very cool. Let's take a look on some of the other aircraft that have different afterburners, because it's not only one aircraft, right? So you probably already saw like the new aircraft, the F-15Es and Su-34s in other videos and stuff, but let's show some of the older aircraft that we have in the game. So yeah, it looks a little bit more normal, you know, it's not fully modeled like the Su-34 one, but it's there. It feels a little bit more realistic, and it looks a lot more beautiful, especially the flame itself. And you still have that feel of a realistic turn off of the afterburner with the asymmetrics and the way that everything works there. The turn on as well, it's just really realistic, so much better. But some of these aircraft will be like it was before, but just with some new flames and stuff like that, right? Here we have the F-16 as well. Look at the color, a lot better than what it was before. And it looks like it's incandescent, right? It's so hot that it's just, you know, really an afterburner, right? You can see that it turns itself off the same way as the other ones. You can have the like stages as well over here. So first stage would be something like this, then more, right? So yeah, and when you turn it off, it really is realistic. And here, one of my favorites, guys, the Tornado, because, well, it's basically the same, the internal there, with the the new flame, as you can see, but then when you turn it off, it really likes to go like asymmetric, which is my favorite thing of like an addition with these. Sometimes it goes together, sometimes it's asymmetric, as you see, and it's just, yeah, look at that. That's beautiful, man. That's really realistic. I still believe that the tornado flame though needs to be a little bit more whitish or bluish. If you take a look on some videos, you can see that it is a lot more whitish than yellow, but it is still pretty cool. So many vehicles have these new flames and stuff. Basically every single vehicle. Some of them is a little bit more, like it's a little bit more different. Now every single vehicle is kind of different, but at the end of the day, like some of them will be more different and some of them will be less like it will be just a flame or a part of the flame or anything like that, right? I definitely feel that the new vehicles, they do have the better ones, like the most like look at this. Initially it just looks exactly like the older one, right? Instead of the SU-34 one, which has like internal modules there and stuff, but at least the other like animations with the flame itself, of course, and with the turning it on and off and stuff being a little bit more asymmetric and more realistic, it feels a little bit more well made, right? Some other changes include basically, look at the illumination of that, that's beautiful. Like for example, depending on the ground surface that you are going to actually, you know, fly or drive technically around, you will see different mechanics basically, right? So for example, here we are in a snowy kind of runway. I think it's kind of exaggerated a little bit there, but still, and then you see basically like snow, right? And then if you do a belly landing, for example, you will see sparks and stuff, as you see, and it feels a lot more sluggish and you can even die, right? So making it a little bit more realistic to do a belly landing, because people tend to overuse belly landings because they basically don't have any, you know, drawback, kind of. But in real life, a belly landing is a very, very dangerous thing. You can ruin everything and even explode depending on the aircraft, especially aircraft that you're basically landing on your engines, right? Which most of these jets you are doing, right? So you will feel that the aircraft itself is bouncing a lot more, see? And with the bounce, you can even explode, and you see a lot more, you know, little like sparks and stuff, you know. If you go to the snow over here, let's try it out. Let's see if it changes. I think that's the problem, right? Yeah, see, that's the problem. The runway itself is not ready yet, but this is going to be if you're flying in snow, right? Or driving in snow. It's gonna look like this, for example. So yeah, it's just that the runway itself is not really concrete right now. But you get the idea, right? Let's try to show a little bit in another map that it's not snowy. And maybe in a map that it's not night as well. So for example, here we are in the desert over here, and there will be no snow, obviously. It will be dirt, right? So let's try again, do a belly landing. So you don't see much of dirt over here, just a little bit of sand. And then... oh, I just exploded. That's funny, but... yeah, I think the gear wasn't the hitbox. Work in progress, guys. Work in progress. Let's try again. But you get the idea, right? You got the idea. Let's see. So let's see. Let's wait for the actual... come on, come on. You see how, like, the sparks and the stuff, right? So you're gonna need to... you will need to be careful with your belly landings, guys. It's not just flying at 500 kilometers per hour into the ground and you're gonna be safe. It's nothing like that. It feels a lot more realistic and a lot more dangerous to do that right now, which is pretty... I think it's pretty cool. I gotta say, I always hated that belly landings were so easy to do in this game. They need to be harder so that it can actually have a risk-reward kind of situation, right? Let's see in the dirt over here. Yeah, so it's a lot less, as you see. So again, the runway itself, made out of concrete, will be nothing, and then here it will be like this, just to let you know. For example, the concrete runway is not really there. Of course, there is something obviously that it's still work in progress, as you see. It's a little bit weird, but they're fixing it. In some aircraft it's already fixed, but yeah, the vapor waves are here. I already showed that, so I'm not gonna show again just for showing, but just to let you know. Okay, let me test one more map just to see if we have anything different to show to you guys. So as you see, in even other maps, it's a little bit of a different dirt. So yeah, very, very interesting. And let's test one of the vehicles that can only do a belly landing technically, right? So let's see if it works. We drop that. We lower our gear. I think I'm quite fast. Hold up. We're gonna do kind of a go around over here. And yeah, it's a lot more realistic, a lot more fun in my opinion. I think it's it just makes sense, right? It really does make sense. It's funny that we have the propeller working, so now we have speed because of the propeller, right? Right? Obviously that's not how these aircraft is propelled. No air brake, of course. Let's see if we can lap combat. Need to be slower, right? Fuel starvation. I think I'm okay here. I'm gonna lose the speed very quickly when I do the flare. I'm gonna do it with the gear down to see how it works. It's a lot more realistic. It really is. Because he has a little bit of a... like a shock absorber there, right? Oop. And oh my god, there we go. So very, very cool mechanic, I think. A little like thing. You can see the details on the runway. Very, very cool, guys. So let me know in the comments what you think about this type of thing. I think it's always a quality of life kind of little thing that makes the game a little bit more pretty, a little bit more realistic. It's always nice, right? So let me know in the comments what you think, and I see you guys on the next one. So make sure to subscribe, always helps a lot. Make sure to comment, and yeah, leave a like as well. See you guys. Bye.